Welcome back, Houston. Welcome back. Welcome back. A lot of news. Give a shout out to the Rockets. Winning 50 games this season. Let's go, baby. Playoffs, here we come. First time 5 years. Let's do this. So, it's a lot of news from yesterday. I just want to see where everybody's head at. And today is going to be called No Plan. So, and this is for the local level here in Houston. This is for the federal government. There's just no plan. It's just really no plan. And it's kind of sad how there's no plan. Listening to city council, Houston council yesterday, and we were talking about budgets and not really understanding of where the deficit came from. Oh, we know what the deficit came from. We know exactly what the deficit came from. Deficit came from giving fire department almost $200 million. It was $100 million in a lawsuit that I still really don't understand, because don't nobody want to talk about it, but we know the lawsuit is we're going to settle it for $100 million. So that's it. If we're adding that's $3 million in. And then on top of that, we just found out that from yesterday that fire, police, and public works are about $60 million in overtime. And I'm not saying that they didn't need the overtime. I'm not saying that. In fact, I don't even want this to be an argument today. I really want this to be a real discussion about where do you think Houston's heading. And the reason I say it's no plan is because he kept saying his predecessor did this, his predecessor did that, his predecessor did this, his predecessor did that. Well, I'm going to tell you, when you're in office 2 years and your budget has to be balanced every year that you're in office, and you've been in there twice now, you've been 2 years. You're 2 years. So this is your second budget. It can't be your predecessor anymore, sir. It can't. Unfortunately, in the federal government, it kind of is. But not here in Houston. It can't. So, unfortunately, if you had a balanced budget last year, and now you're $3+ million in the hole, unfortunately, that's not how it works. You started off with a zero balance last year. Now you've created over $300 million worth of budget within deficit. Sorry about that. Then you go on to say that, well, 50 of it is going to come from Metro. So you're 360 on, 350 to 360 negative. You get 50 from Metro. That still leaves you 300. Okay. Now, insiders are us, because I still keep my ear to the streets. With the 27 that he had asked to leave, that doesn't put you close. But 4,500 people being fired, or almost 4,700 people being fired, get you close to 200 million. It's like 220. If we're still doing math, it's a couple of $1 million in still that you still need. So even if that you did it on the backs of the municipal employees, and I want to give a shout out to Councilwoman Tiffany Thomas. I want to give a shout out to her because she's telling the truth. You're going to do all this on the back of the municipal employees, which I already knew this. This is no new surprise to me. When you're talking about cutting municipal employees here in Houston. You're gonna do that. Then your service is gonna start slowing down. That's what yesterday's meeting was about. You gotta look at how many people that you have to cut to balance the budget. Then on top of that, you have to think about services. So you cut all these people does not inherit, it does not make a positive spin for you when you're going to cut all these people, services are going to slow down, and you did all this to have fire say, oh, well, this was wonderful for us, but unfortunately, we just don't fight a lot of fires anymore. It is, even city council said that. You don't have a lot of fires here in Houston. Shocker. But you just gave them over $200 million. Now, the reason that you gave them $200 million was not because the city negotiated in not so good faith. What happened was that fire, almost 12 years ago, left the table and never came back. Now you felt like you owed them $200-something million, but that was not true. And Sylvester Turner had told the city that. Sylvester Turner said if you paid them, you would bankrupt the city. And that's exactly what you did. So it's no plan. There's no plan. And what Chris Hollins was saying, shout out to my boy, what he was actually telling you is that you need to come up with a plan, and that plan is coming up real quickly. The plan needs to be the plan needs to be here executed by May. We're in April, and you ain't executed no plan but firing people. Share the rest of the plan with us. And he doing all the shucking and jiving. What is you doing all that for, sir? Do you, when you see him, he only start doing all that twitching when he start lying, because he can't hold it back. Good lying. He uncomfortable in the lie that he's about to tell. You're uncomfortable. This is a person who does not care about you. This is a person who does not care about your family. This person does not care. And that's where that twitcher come in, because he's trying. Because he's lying. And it hurts him. It's physically hurting him when he says these lies. If he cared about you, he would have had a plan to save you. What he also did is that he negotiated a contract with Hope Local 123, and I hate mentioning their name because they're so weak. You got a contract and fired 2,700 people. Phase 1. I just told you, if you don't get to 4,500 or 4,700, you don't get to 225 to get closer to balancing the budget. So this ain't the only phase of firing. This is phase 1. This is phase 1. And because your union is so weak, so stupid, IQ level very low, very low. I mean, the ants compete with the IQ level, okay, of your local your union Hope Local 123. The IQ level, it's a competition that the ant actually might pull off a higher IQ than your union. And it's a lot of people that sit around that table. It's about 13 of them. About 13 of them, give or take. You know, every so often, you might get a little shake up. You know, you get a little less people. You lose a little less, you know, on the board. You get a little more. You add a little more to the board. But it's normally about 13 people sitting across that table. And all 13 of these people thought that getting fired over $200 million was beautiful. But what people don't understand is that when you fire the city, Harris County is deeply tied to Houston. So Houston loses, and you're married to a person that actually works in the county. You've just turned that 2-person household. You see how math works? And who's hiring right now? Oh, I want to give a shout out to council member Pollard. Pollard just came up with a website, and I want to try to put a link on the video for morejobshouston.com. morejobs.houston.com. You could catch me on my Facebook page, More with Morris. That link is sitting on that Facebook page right now as we speak. I want you to check it out. I mean, he got some jobs on there, but the problem is it ain't 5,000 jobs. It's about 500. So we got to come up with a real plan. See, there's no plan. And the reason I get to make fun of that, and I don't want you to think that Morris makes fun of people with disabilities. That's not true. Because he don't do it all the time. It's only when you know he's about to start lying. I've noticed it. I've seen him straight up when he listens to people. And then all of a sudden he about to bust out with a lie. Well, my predecessor, and then all of a sudden, my predecessor didn't have the budget balanced. And I'm just working with what I was handed, and this is not really my fault. But we're gonna get it together because I'm the best mayor Houston has ever had. Then all of a sudden, so the earth wasn't just shaking 2 seconds ago. The earth wasn't. Was there any earthquakes that we should be aware of? Are we on high alert of high winds? Is tornado shaking the building? No, it's because he's lying. And before I go, I'm glad I finished up all that Houston stuff. But before I go, I want to talk about Trump real fast. When we talk about no plan comes from the federal government also. So he comes up, tariffs, and tariffs is good for America. And everybody at the Rose Garden yesterday, you got all the claps and all this other stuff. He hands out one, Make America Great hat again. I mean, he probably got millions of them, but you only bring one to a huge crowd that you're supposed to have. You bring one. You're like, oh, I'm only going to give the one to the auto workers. You could have handed out them sneakers. Would have been worth more. But giving me one Make America Great hat again don't make no sense. But he did these tariffs, and on the back of our friends, the Canadians, and I love Canada, by the way. I've been there, loved them, talked to them, bought stuff from them. Very beautiful, very beautiful. And we were making enemies so close. Especially with people who kind of control the lights up north, and I didn't know that. Who knew that? Even my government background didn't teach me that Canada had some of our lights in the northern states. That's crazy to me. But okay, let's make an enemy. And after that speech, we looking at that old good old stock market plummeted. So people don't like being taxed. But history teaches you that people don't like to be taxed. For a history buff that he say he is, but he's so stuck in the past, he don't remember what we did with kings that taxed too much and people get tired of being taxed. He ain't looking at the right history book for me. Because I remember what happened to people like that. And I'm not here to promote no violence or nothing like that. I'm just telling you, when people are strained, people will do strange things. When people are strained, people will do strange things. So I want today to be about solutions. I don't want to hear no more problems. We got a lot of problems. But I need some solutions. And I need the parties to come together and give us those solutions. They're in some little weird, awkward little spots around, and we're floating some new things over here and all this other good stuff. I need somebody to come up with a plan to get us out of this trouble that we're about to be in. Recession is on the horizon. That's not a great thing, y'all. That's not a great thing. It's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be a lot more people lose their jobs. Unemployment is about to go up. You are going to see the interest rates drop again. Yep, that's going to happen. Interest rates got to drop because it ain't going to be that many people that can afford the interest rates that you're trying to sell off. So interest rates are going to drop, but it's going to be just like we did in COVID. They're dropped because it's negative. It's not a positive thing that you're doing. It's going to be a negative thing. And if anybody tells you what's going on is negative right now, slap them. You know, I'm sorry. I don't promote violence. You tell them that their IQ level is so low that you don't need to vote no more. You done. Don't vote. Don't vote. So, what I want to say to you guys is y'all have a great day. We'll do this again tomorrow. Give me solutions, not more problems. I'll talk to y'all later tomorrow. Y'all have a good one.